welcome to This is 31 Day 2. I'm super excited. So let me start with an apology. If there's noise, I'm in town. I'm running a few errands. So a friend of mine is getting some stuff done. And I noticed my day may not go as planned. So in the spirit of no excuses, I decided let me just do this while I wait for my friend, right? Yeah, so day 2, guys. My name is Ruth Muntali. If you're here for the first time, I make faith-based content for young people. So if it affects the youth in any way, we are talking about it. And if you're a returning subscriber, love to see you, friend. Love to see you, fam. You guys are family now. Right, so day 2, today I want to talk about you are not your background, or you should not let your background determine what person you should be. And I don't really think I knew like the conditions under which I grew up until like I hear my parents preaching and stuff like that. Then I realized like it was so hard the conditions in which I was born, if that makes sense. Like my parents were not like super comfortable. I don't even know if super comfortable is the word. Comfortable! Because one time my dad was preaching and he was explaining how they'll be taking me, my little brother, and my mom would be going somewhere and would all be on a bike. And I would never know that, right? So my lesson today is really about what my parents taught me. They taught me that you cannot allow what you're going through to like label the way you carry yourself. You would never know what my parents are going through because they never look like their problems. They never look like their financial issues. They never look like that. And they raised us in that way. One of the problems, it was a problem then, but now I really see it from like a more positive perspective. One of the things I've dealt with is everybody thought I was a rich kid, you know? Everybody thought I was a rich kid because of the way I speak and the way I carry myself, the confidence. And I realized those are things my parents instilled in me. They didn't allow the fact that maybe I didn't have breakfast at home to be the reason why I'm walking with this victim mentality. I never had that. I never had that at any point in my life, right? And I realized that my mom and dad put in the work. I come from a very mushy family. Like I don't know if you've met my parents. Anyway, I come from a very mushy family, right? Like my parents are very lovey-dovey. They're very they're affirmative parents. They're always affirming us, always telling us all those things. So you'd think that's the kind of background my parents came from. Like you'd think those are the kind of parents they had, but that may not have been the case. I don't even know if our grandparents, knew all those things, but they decided how they wanted to raise their family and how they wanted to raise their kids. So I grew up hearing my parents tell me, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, I love you, you're not poor. No matter what we went through, you will never hear me use my own mouth to say, oh, I was poor, or I'm having this victim mentality. Even times where I lacked things that I needed, maybe you're having like Civilians Day, I don't know how my parents did it. Like, I don't know, man. Kudos to my mom and dad. I don't know how they did it, but when you see my siblings and I, to be honest, we look nothing like what we were going through at the time. We look like we're coming from money. Like we talk like we're coming from money. Do you get it? There's this aura. And while you're on a journey to becoming something or working something, don't look like your problems. Even in Ukraine, I went through a very difficult phase. You would never know by looking at me. You would never know that I was broke, that I wasn't staying in my own house. I was squatting with a friend. You would never know because I didn't decide to like carry all those things on my shoulders. And this is different from like pretending. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. I'm not talking about like pretending. I'm not pretending to be what I'm not, but at the same time, I'm not carrying my problems. So no matter what you go through, package yourself, guys. Like just because somebody grew up in a place where things were hard doesn't mean they can't work on their English or they can't package themselves a certain way, right? So yeah, that's today's lesson. Don't allow your background to define you. Even if you're not coming from like so much money and influence and whatever, there's a way your mind will be, which my parents have and have always had, that will propel the direction in which your life takes. So when I look at my parents now and how they ended up where they were, it's because of the kind of mentality they had, man. They had this great mentality even in hard times. They always spoke the word. They never spoke negative stuff, and they instilled that on me and my siblings. And so we did not look anything like what we're coming from, like we did not wear our problems on our face. We didn't have like a victim mentality. Just because you've gone through a hard time, you're always looking for who you should beg from and stuff like that. No. So yeah, that's lesson number 2. You are not your background. And this doesn't just mean money. I mean, if you came from a family that is not so loving and whatever, you don't have to carry that with you. You can change the narrative, right? You can change how you look at yourself and things like that. Whether you're not coming from a place of so much confidence, you can change the narrative. So yeah, that is lesson number 2. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Today, I think like I'm just serving chilled vibes. Guys, when I was leaving the house in the morning, it was cold. So I wore a tracksuit, and now it's getting hot. And I'm just going to look cray. Like, I'm just going to be giving ignorant of the weather. Yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of This is 31. Peace out.